Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today in this tutorial I am going to show you how we can implement a shopping cart in React Native with global state management tool Zustand and also storing the shopping cart data with Zustand middleware persist with MMKV. So let me show you the demo. Here you can see this is the list of the products available here, and here for each product we can see we have the plus and minus icon. So with the plus icon we can add it to the cart, and as you may have noticed here it was 0 previously, but when I have clicked here then it has become 1. Similarly if I click here then it will increase by 1, and again if I click here then it will again increase it by 1. Similarly I can add it like this, and if I go to cart then here I can see that these are the items which have been added to the cart, and from the cart I can minus. Okay, so this is what I'm going to create today, and if I close the app and then again open it, then here you can see it is still 5 here, and in the cart we can see all the cart details present, whatever we have added here, right? So this is how we are handling the cart, and we are storing the cart data with MMKV in Zustand middleware persist. So that is what we are going to create today in this tutorial. And if you don't know about Zustand, which is the global state management tool which I am going to use here, and also if you don't know about MMKV, which is the local storage system similar to async storage, then I have already created beginners friendly tutorial for these two technologies, which you can find from the I icon of this video, and also I will provide the link of both of these tutorial in the description below, so you can check it out from that, and then it will be much more easier for you to understand this tutorial when you will have the basic understanding of these technologies. So if you are interested in these kinds of tutorial, then hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more tutorials like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell icon so that you get notified whenever I post a new tutorial on this channel. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. So here I have created a new expo project, and here we have this layout and index.tsx file, and with that I have added another directory called data, and within it I have provided data.json where I have provided the product information, product JSON data, and this data I have got from the FakeStore API. I have used this FakeStore API.in. So from this API products, whatever I have got here, I have added here 20 items. So this is how I added this data, and this data we are going to use here as I have shown you. So for that, first we need to create two tabs. That's why let me create tab, and here let's create the layout.tsx, and with that I would create index.tsx, which would be the home page. Okay, so this would be the home, and let me copy it and let's create cart.tsx, and here it would be cart. And for the layout, let's create tab layout, and here we would provide the tabs from export outer. Okay, and we don't need index here, so I can get rid of this index. And for this layout, instead of providing stack, so here we can see this is how it is. Instead of it I will provide slot from export outer. Okay, so now we have these two. Now for the tabs, let me do some customization here. So first I want to provide this index and cart. I need to provide the title for these two, home and cart. Okay, and with that I will provide tab bar icon. I would provide icons, so let me import icons from vector icons, and then I can use it here. Let's use home outline, and here let's provide tab bar icon, and here I would use cart outline. And with that, here I would want to provide the item count which would be added to the cart, right? That I can provide here. So here for the screen options I can provide header right, and for it let's provide text. The text needs to be imported from React Native, and here let me provide 0. For the style of it I need to provide margin 10. So here it is provided that. Now after that, let's provide the font size 18 and font weight bold. So now it is much more prominent, right? Now I can start design the product listings over here, which is the index screen. So here instead of this text, I need to provide flat list, and for the flat list data, I need to provide the data from this data.json. So let me import that, import data from data.json, and here I can add that. Now for the render item, let me first render the title. So here I can see the list of items present here. So let me create the render item function, and the type of it would be list render item, and this needs to be imported from React Native. And here we need to provide the type of the items which we are going to render, and that type is the type of this data. Okay, so this is our product, so this would be a type. So I can create the type by copying it, and let me create the type here. To create the type here, I can use JSON to TS, convert from clipboard. So that's how I can create the type. And here let me name it as product type, and I need to export it because I need to use it in other files such as cart as well. So that's why I have exported it, and here I can use that product type, and I can create this type from the JSON data by using an extension which is JSON to TS, this one. Okay, so this one you can use to create the type from the JSON data. Now here we can get the item, and for the item we can return the items like this. So here instead of using this, I would use render item function. Okay, so nothing changes. Now let me add the image here, and this image needs to be imported from React Native. For the image source URI, I can provide item.image, and for the image to display, I need to provide the width and height. I will use 100 for both of these. So with this save, here we can see the data, right? Now let me provide some style. So here I would provide container. Let me create the container style. So here for the container I would use flex 1, and for the padding I would use 16 pixel. So now we have some padding here. Now with it, I don't want this scroll indicator, and also we need to provide key extractor, and for it we need to provide the unique value. Okay, so that is the item ID we can provide, and we need to convert it to string, and then the scroll indicator. So that's why I can provide show vertical scroll indicator as false. So now when we scroll, that time we don't have the scroll indicator, right? Now let's style the item. So here for this view, I would provide item wrapper, and then I would create another view after this image, which would be item info wrapper, and within it I would provide this title. Now let me create this item wrapper and item info wrapper. So for the item wrapper, I would provide flex direction row and margin bottom 16. For the gap of it, I would provide 10. For the background color, I would use white. Now let's provide some padding and border radius. So let's provide padding 10 and border radius 10 as well. So now it is looking good. Now I don't want these titles like this. I want it to be only one line, and then let's provide some style for it. So it is style item title. Let's create that item title. So that is how it will look. And for this item info wrapper, I would provide a gap of 10 pixel, so that every item within it would have this 10 pixel gap. Right now we have only one item. Now I would add another item, which is the price, and now here you can see there is a gap. So let's provide the style item price. Let's create that, and here for it I would provide 14 pixel, and let's use 600. So now it is looking good. Here I need to provide the dollar symbol. After it, I would create that plus and minus button to add or remove to the cart. So here let's create a view, and this view style would be button container. So here I would create those two buttons. So for that, let's use touchable opacity, and for it I would create this button style, and let's provide icon. So this icons needs to be imported from vector icons, and here for the icon I would use this add outline, and for the size I would use this 24, and the color is black. Now similarly I would copy this once again, and this time it is remove outline. So now let's create this button container and button style. So now for this button container, flex direction row and cap would be 10. For the align items, I would provide center. Now for the button, let's provide a gray background color, and then let's provide a padding 5 pixel, and for the border radius I would provide 5 as well. So these are the button, right? So the UI have been created. After creating this UI, now we need to install Zustand. So let's go to Google and type Zustand. Let's go to documentation of it, and let's use this command to install Zustand. Let's close the server and paste it. So it have been installed. Now again start the server. Now we need to create a store. So within the store directory I would create cart store.ts file. So here within the cart store we need to create the cart store. So for that, first I need to import something from Zustand, and that is create, which we need to import, and then we need to create use cart store, and that we can create by this create function which we have imported from Zustand. And here we need to provide the type of it. So let me create the type, and that we can create by interface. Let me provide a name here, cart store type, and then let's provide the type here. So here first we will have the cart, and this cart will hold the products, right? So it would be array of the product type which I have created here. So this is the product type which I have already exported, that I am importing here. So that is the cart, which would be the array of products, and then we need to provide add to cart, remove to cart. So for the add to cart function, we would receive the product, and this is the type of the product, and it would be a void function similar to remove from cart as well. These are the two functions for the cart functionality. And then we would have another thing which would be clear cart, and this is another void function, but it will not accept anything. And with that we would need another data which would be the item count, which will be displayed here. So that means whatever the items we have present in the cart, that would be it. So it is items count, and that type would be number. So this is the cart store type. So let me use that here. Then let's create the store, and here we have provided this set function, and with this set function we can create the store. And for the cart, initially it would be empty array, and for the items count it would be 0. Now for the add to cart, we would get the product, and here we need to set the product like this. For the state item count, it would be increased by 1. So that's why I have provided ++. Now we need to check for the existing item. So here we can get it from the cart. So this cart, we are accessing it by state.cart. Then use the find function, and for the find function we would get the item, and for the item ID we would check it with the product ID, which would be passed to this add to cart function. And to get rid of this error, let me create remove from cart and the clear cart also. Okay, so now we can focus into this function. Now we are checking for the existing item. If we have existing item, then we would handle the cart differently. So let me provide if it is existing item. If existing item is true, then we would return cart, and here let me map through the items in the cart. Let me take the item. Let's provide this checking. If item ID equal to product ID, then we would return the item with the quantity. So right now we don't have the quantity present here in this type. This is what we are adding, the quantity, and that's why here in the cart we need to add that type as well. So here let's provide quantity and it would be a number. So here let me discuss what we are doing if the item is already existed. So that means suppose we have added this item to the cart, then again we are adding another item of this product. So that time it will run this thing. So that means it is the existing item already in the cart, and then I'm adding it again. So that's why we are checking it. If it is existing item, then we will return all the properties of the item. So we are destructuring everything from the item, and we are adding this quantity with items.quantity plus 1. So whatever the previous quantity it would have, add 1 to it if it is existing item, and then we are returning the item. Else if it is not existing item, then we need to handle it differently. That time it is the item first time getting added to the cart. So that we can do like this. Return, here we need to provide the cart, and we would get everything from the cart. So whatever we have present in the cart, that we will get like this. So we are destructuring the cart by this triple dot state dot cart. So whatever we have present in this cart, that is we are getting here, and then we are adding this product which we have passed here in this add to cart function with the quantity equal to 1, because this is the first time this product is being added. So with this product we are adding the quantity value to it. So this means whatever value it is holding in these values for the item, it will remain as it is, and then we are adding the quantity with 1, and for the existing item we are adding to the existing quantity value. So that is the tricky part. I believe that I have made you understand what we are exactly doing over here. Now let's focus into the remove cart, and here similarly we would get the product. After that we need to use the set function, and we would access the state like this. And also here for this add to cart we are adding this items count. Whatever the item we are adding, if it is existing item or a new item, it would be increased by 1, this items count, right? Now for the remove item in the return, let's set the cart by this state.cart.map function. We would get the item, then check if item ID equal to the product ID, then we would return the item, and this time we would reduce the item quantity by 1. So it is similar to this code where we are adding it by 1, but for this remove we are reducing it by 1, and we are returning the item here. And after that here we need to add a filter which would check if the item quantity is greater than 0, then we can do it. And here we need to do the similar things which we have done here for the items count. For the add to cart we are increasing it by 1, here we need to reduce it by 1. So that's why I have provided state count minus minus. Now for the clear cart I can set it by cart empty array, and the items count is 0. By this we are removing everything from the cart. Now after saving, here in the index we need to add those functions for these two buttons. So for the on press we need to add it. So let's create add to cart, and here we would get use cart store from our cart store, and then we would point to the add to cart which we have created here. Okay. And similarly const remove from cart use cart store state dot remove from cart. So now we can use it here. Let me add to cart, and then let's provide the item, and this item is the product which we are passing here. Okay. So similarly for this remove button let's provide on press remove from cart item. Now save it. Let's click here. Okay, so we are adding it, but we are not displaying anything, so let me change this 0. So let me go to this, and here we are providing that. So here let's create items count. Let's use cart store, and from the state we are getting the items count. So here instead of 0 I would provide items count, and here after saving we can see that it have already updated. Let's do some more addition or deletion, so we can see that it is getting updated, right? And now we need to see it in the cart. We haven't implemented anything in the cart yet, so that's why it is not displaying here. But here in this item count we can see that definitely it is doing something. It is adding the item over here. Now let's quickly update the cart tsx file as well, and it is pretty straightforward, similar to this. So I can copy everything from here and paste here. Okay, and here it is cart. Now let me import everything. I think all things have been imported. Let's see. For the image I have imported it. Now it is looking good. Now for this one I don't want to display the data here, I want to display the cart. So that I need to get, it would be const cart. We are getting it from the cart state. So here for the data let's provide the cart. Now save it. Now with the save, here we can see the data, and here with the product type we would get the quantity as well, that I can display here. Between these two buttons I can provide the item quantity. Let's provide some style, so it's looking good. Now let's see. So I can increase it, I can decrease it, so it got removed. Okay, now let's see here. Let's add few products. So here I can see everything added over here, and I can manage the cart properly. So now the state is working perfectly well, but if I reload the app, then we can see it have gone to 0, and in the cart we don't have anything, so it is not storing the data. Here we are managing the state with Zustand, but it is not storing the data anywhere, so that we need to fix, and for that we need to install MMKV. So here let's go to Google and let's search for the MMKV, and here we are interested in React Native MMKV, which we need to install, and this is for the expo. So I'm going to copy this command and let's use it here. So it have been installed. Now after that in the expo go we cannot use it, so that's why we need to create the pre-build. So that's the reason I have copied this npx expo pre-build command, and it will create the pre-build. So the pre-build have been created, and with pre-build we can see the Android and iOS directory. Now we need to run it, and we can run it by npx expo run :iOS, and for the Android we can provide Android here. For me I would use run iOS, and it will take some time to build it properly, so I would fast forward this part. Okay, so now it have been built, and here we can see that it is providing this prompt open in Zustand cart, which is our app name. So let's click on open. So now we are outside of the expo go, we have the app with us. So here let's see, here we have the Zustand cart app, and this is the expo go which we were using previously, so we don't need that expo go, we can get rid of it, and now we are in the Zustand cart app. Okay, let's get rid of it. Yeah, now it is not there. So now in this pre-built, let's see if our app functionality is working properly or not. So let's go to the cart. So here we can see it is working perfectly fine, right? So that's good. Now we need to create the storage, and here in the store directory let's create the mmkv.ts file, and here let's import mmkv from React Native mmkv, and here let's create the storage new mmkv, and here let's provide an id, and I would provide cart storage, and now I would create the Zustand storage. So it would be export const Zustand storage, and here I need to import something from Zustand middleware, and here within the persist we can get state storage. So here I need to provide that, and now I can create the Zustand storage. So here for the set item I can provide name, the type of it would be string, and the value which would be string as well, and I can set it in the storage which we have created here by the name and value provided here in the set item. So that is how we need to create the Zustand storage. First we have created set item, then we can create get item, and to get the item here we would need name only, and the type of it would be string, and here we can get the value from storage get string. And if you go to mmkv you can see that get set. So how we can get it and how we can set it, that's present, that is what we are using here. And also if we go to the documentation in detail, then we can see using mmkv with Zustand persist middleware, right? So that is what we are using here. So here you can see this Zustand storage. Okay, so that is what we are creating here. So here we can return value or null. If it is not present, then we need to remove the item, and that we can do by storage.delete. So that's how we have created the storage, and here exactly we can see that in the documentation they have provided it. Now here in the cart store we need to update this use cart store with the persist middleware. That is little bit tricky. So here let me import persist from Zustand middleware, and then we need to use it here. So here we need to provide this empty bracket, and then I have to provide persist, and then for this set function here. Okay, yeah, like this we need to use it. For the name we are providing cart storage, which name we have provided here, that cart storage name, and here we need to provide storage, and for the storage we need to provide this create JSON storage. So create JSON storage, and here we need to provide the storage which we are going to use. We are going to use the Zustand storage which we have created in the mmkv, this one which we have exported, right? So that I have imported here. Now save it. Now with the save, here we can see that everything is now reset. Now we need to add it freshly. So let's add the items. Let's see here. So here we can see that it is working perfectly well, right? Now we need to close the app, and now let's open it again. And yes, now we can see here it is storing the data. Now we have implemented Zustand persist middleware with mmkv to store the cart data properly. So this is the tutorial, guys. I hope you have learned something new from this tutorial. If you do so, then hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more tutorials like this. Let me know by commenting down below. If you have any kind of suggestion for me, then also let me know. And don't forget to share this tutorial with your friends and colleagues. And I will see you guys in my next tutorial. In the meantime, have a great day. Goodbye.